everyone, I'm Holly and I am the maker and doer of all the things here at Missouri River Soap. Welcome to my channel. It is a rainy afternoon in northwest Montana. It's a beautiful day, have the windows open, so you may hear some gentle rain in the background. Today I'm making lavender lemonade soap, or lavender lemon, or lemon lavender. We'll see how I end up naming this soap, but it is a blend of a lavender and lemon essential oils. So we're going to be adding in ultramarines and oxides for our color. I have coconut milk to keep this soap vegan. And I have my regular recipe of olive, coconut, castor, cocoa butter, and shea butter. So let's get started. Let's make this soap. My oils are still warm, but they're a little bit cloudy. So I'm going to go ahead and get them blended in just to confirm that there's no solid oils in there. And now I'm going to add in the coconut milk, and I just love an organic coconut milk that does not have any guar gum in it, has nothing else in it, it's just coconut and water. I have the lye solution here. We're going to go ahead and put that in. I don't have any lye lint today, so that's fun. Pretty high amount of water because I'm not pulling out too much for the coconut milk. And I am going to bring this to emulsification. I usually count to about 30 and then I stop and stir it around. Of course, I have metal on metal here, so you're going to hear some of that scraping sound. Alright, so I have done a count of about 50 total. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my essential oil blend. It smells amazing. I chose to just go with just a real gentle strength on this one today. It's not going to be just like in your face, just gentle. Lavender, lemon together, just calm and fun. Alright, so now I'm going to split it off and color the two parts. I want 3,000 ml here. Let's see, is that right? 3,000 ml, is that what I say? We're in America. We don't tend to use the mLs a whole lot. We're more of ounce people, but I'm trying to learn to go that direction since that seems to be a pretty good way to go. But I didn't even know I did that. Oh, this smells so incredible. So I think I'm going to put the purple in the pot and then the yellow in this pitcher. So here we have a blend of ultramarine violet, ultramarine pink, and ultramarine blue. And I just made a batch of lavender soap, and oh my goodness, it was so bright blue, and then it does peter off a little bit, fades out, and it can kind of go a bit grungy, but I find that it still lightens back up to just a really pretty pastel. Let's go ahead and get that blended in, tapping out the air bubbles. The suction of the stick blender pulls it down, but the pulling it down is what makes a lot of the scraping sounds. so I'm trying to be careful about that. And then here we just have yellow oxide. I mix my ultramarine with water and the oxides with oil. I'm hoping that I'm not going to have a lot of speckles. I really was working on getting this blended in well. Can't believe how good this smells. That's looking really good. I'm seeing some specklage on my stick blender, but it's not too bad. So I think I'll go with it. Sometimes a little bit of the speckling from the more natural colorants can be very pretty. So I don't fight it too much. Alright, so we have a fairly light trace here, but it is getting thicker. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the purple in the bottom. I pretty much want it all in, but I might save some of what's in the pot to do a little swirl on the top. I grabbed this spatula, but I don't like it. Let's see, I'm gonna add just a bit more in from this pot. I don't want a lot on the top. And of course, yellow and purple together can make brown, so we don't want that. Just a little bit left. So I want this to sink in, but I don't want it to really mix and make brown. I think it's all right because everybody's pretty thick here. I'm just going to be real gentle because we don't want a big swirl. Now let's take the spatula, as Paula Deen might say. That has stuck in my head, spatula, all these years. Someone in the South might say that. I guess tell me, do you say spatula if you live in the South? I'm loving this purple color. It is hanging in there. I will show you my other one here momentarily, and you can see the difference in the purples. But this is pretty much the same amount of colorant for half as I did for the full batch. I just have a little bit here. I'm just going to add a little bit to the top. We don't want a lot of mixture, but we do want to make a bit of a pretty swirl. Alright, so now let's just take our handy dandy chopstick here. And because these lines weren't the straightest, most fluid, it's not the most just amazing swirl, but it's looking pretty good, huh? It's pretty. Now I could kind of do a swirly whirly, but I think I'm just going to leave it as is because I think that is just lovely. All right. Okay, so here we have our lavender and lemon soap. I am going to lightly cover it and it's just going to sit in the mold. It needs to solidify and saponify, and I'll cut it in a couple of days. Here is the other lavender soap. This is just the plain lavender, and this is the same amount of colorant. Alright, so you can see the two soaps together here. This is the same amount of purple colorant in the entire batch and in half of the batch there. So you can see that it's kind of leaning a bit gray, but I find that once it saponifies, it does lighten up and get a bit more cheerful. Alright, so these soaps are going to be lightly covered and just set out of the way. They need to solidify and saponify, and then I'll be back in a couple of days to cut them. Okay, so it is time to unmold and cut our lavender and lemon soap. I think it looks super pretty. It does have a little bit of ash, and I may try steaming. I would have done probably the whole top, but it's up above me and I have to get out a big ladder, so. And it's been recalled on top of that too. This smells phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I just cut my plain lavender soap, so I didn't do like a huge cleanup because it's the same colorant and the same recipe and the same colorant. All right, oh, wow, look at that purple. That's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Some sort of gorgeous. It's a good one. It is a good one. So again, I just cut I think you can see it here, the lavender batch, so I'm not doing a big cleanup on my cutter. Splitter, this is from Smith Creek Studios, and to my knowledge it is not available anymore. That's a big bummer. Everyone asks, not everyone, but I do often get asked what my splitter is, so I try to tell you when I use it. So I'm going to cut off a little sample. This is giving me currently some lemon cookie vibes. Oh, wow. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So I have purchased a new immersion blender because I am getting some air bubbles, which is unfortunate, and I should have bought a new one ages ago, but I had found my extra of the shaft, but it just seems like it doesn't matter what shaft I use, it is just plain creating some bubbles. So we have some speckles from the yellow oxide, which was to be expected. I kind of like it. Gives it a whole vibe. So I'm kind of cutting through the swirl a little bit funny. So these aren't micas again. I used yellow oxide and a mix of ultramarines for the purple. Oh, it's just beautiful though. Just beautiful. So here's the top on this one. Overall, I don't get too wound up about tops because when you cut them into bars, it doesn't tend to be a big deal. But if I were to do it again exactly the same way, I probably would make sure that I had those a little bit more even on the loaf. Sometimes I fly by the seat of my pants, and then the next time I come around to it, I can tweak it a little bit. I always feel like I think things through a lot. Like I spend a lot of time thinking about a batch, and then when I'm in the midst of it, I just kind of go with what's happening. But sometimes I wish it could be a little different is all. This is so pretty and fun. The intensity of the more, they consider them more natural colorants. But to me, they're just not micas, and a mica has titanium dioxide in almost every blend. But these don't have titanium dioxide, but they still have the ultramarines and the iron oxides. And of course, they don't actually have micas either. So I know a lot of y'all don't get super excited about lavender and lavender blends, but I'm trying to convince you. I'm trying to make it so. Just like my unscented ones, I just persevere. I am going to convince everybody that they like unscented soap eventually. Probably not, but I do try. Some of you just don't like unscented soap, and that is okay. And some of you just don't like lavender soap, and that's okay. But there's a lot of us that do. So it occurs to me, I'm not in the right camera. Oh! I think I hear the angels singing. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, as I was saying, I realized I'm not in the right spot. So, oh. Look at it. So pretty. So pretty. Oh my goodness. This is nice. So nice. The contrast in the with those colors. That is super fantastic. Hello. Hello. This is good stuff. Oh, I damaged that loaf somehow. Probably will see it when I go back to edit, but I don't see it at the moment. I don't remember it at the moment. That would be the appropriate wording. Yes. This is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Some sort of delightful. These are not made with goat milk this time. It's coconut milk. So this is a vegan essential oil batch. Every now and again I have it in a tallow, and sometimes I have it with goat milk and such. So this batch is olive oil, coconut oil, castor oil, shea butter, and cocoa butter. And it's made with coconut milk, which just amps up the creamy and also a little bit of the cleansing. But overall, this is just a super gentle, beautiful bar. So these soap bars are going to go on the curing rack for 4 to 6 weeks. At some point, I'm going to pull them off and I'm going to clean them up, which that means I'm going to bevel and plane them. But I usually don't wrap them until it's pretty much time for the release. Cold processed soap needs to evaporate the excess moisture in it and also develop a crystalline structure, which just makes it harder, longer lasting, and more conditioning. Soap cleanses, it's not a moisturizer, but we also want to have a well-balanced, conditioning bar of soap, and that cure time is the real kicker. We just have to do it. Be sure to check out the video description down below. You will find links to our social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook. We'd love to see you there and interact with you there. You can find a link to our website where we sell our products, moriversoap.com. You can also sign up for emails on the website so that you'll be aware of releases and sales. If you enjoyed this video, which I really hope that you did, I ask that you'll give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love chatting with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.